Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh,
I'm Clay.
And I'm Chris.
and today we're talking about my pick this week, which I changed. It's not Exotica, it's The Brood. It is David Cronenberg's The Brood. We'll talk about it. The Brood, 1979.
The Brood. You can run, you can hide, and hope they won't find you, but you won't escape. Once unleashed, the Brood will destroy anyone who gets in their way. David Cronenberg's ultimate experience in inner terror, starring Oliver Reed and Samantha Eggar. The Brood. They're waiting for you.
Big David Cronenberg movie.
It's what, third? No, fourth?
Technically, his fourth movie because he did that Fast Company, the car movie.
Never saw that one.
Yeah, don't waste your time. That's a rough one. I think that's his second movie. He did Shivers, and then that, and then Rabid, and then this. And I liked the previous two horror movies, but this to me is the one that feels like he's really like hitting his stride, I'd say.
Yeah.
So just to give a brief synopsis, it is the horror movie version of a divorce story. I believe I've heard Cronenberg say this is Kramer versus Kramer, basically the big divorce movie.
Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
Not me.
Dustin Hoffman and Meryl Streep, right?
Yeah.
It's been a long time, but I've seen that. So it's about a guy who's basically just trying to raise his daughter, and his wife is crazy. And she's in this like well, I would call it a cult. It's a self-help group, basically, led by Oliver Reed, who's like this pseudo therapist. He does this thing called, what is it called?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Psychotronics or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Some weird made-up scientific name that Cronenberg thought up. But yeah, she's trying to keep control of the daughter. He's trying to get her out of there. And it's just a kind of a fight of wills. And then these weird little like dwarf children are like murdering people. And we don't know what's up with that. And it's you slowly sort of figure out what's going on. Man, I really love this movie. It's I think the first time I saw it, I was like, that was pretty good. A little silly, like the dwarf children on the surface are a very silly concept. It's like when you really look at it, it doesn't feel like it should work at all. These manifestations of this lady's rage, but it's Cronenberg. It just works. I don't know. Like he takes this idea of like manifesting rage. Like a lot of his movies, he takes this idea and he just like physicalizes it to the most extreme degree. And
so what's the wackiest thing I could do with that?
Rage, female rage.
But I think there is like a lot of thought that goes into it because, what do females do that we can't? They have the power of creation. So through her, her issues, she's manifesting. Yeah, she's creating a physical version of her rage.
Yeah.
Which are ugly little gremlins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them, we find out.
No belly buttons. they kill one, and then there's like 10 of them in the.
Yeah, in the shed, yeah. The work shed.
We keep them in the attic.
Yeah, so
yeah, they're in the attic.
I'd only seen this one other time, and I remember liking it, but it's been a couple years now. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, the payoff essentially,
Yeah.
but I mean, I kind of forgot a lot of the little details and stuff like that. So, I mean, I remember liking it when I originally watched it, but I'm getting halfway through the movie. I was like, I mean, it's not a ton going on. Like, I remember liking this. Like, I'm not hating it, but like, and then like the last like 20 minutes, like freaking like seals it as fucking brilliance.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's a 4-star movie until like the last couple of shots. And that when they're driving away with when he's driving away with the little girl and
Yeah.
it slowly like zooms in on her arm and she's got the little boils and and then it's like it fades out on her eyes with the tear stained cheeks and everything. It's just
I mean, the whole thing is like, oh yeah, and like I don't think I was a parent when I first watched this. So
sure.
And now having a daughter that's only a year younger than the little girl in the movie, it's like, oh my god, like what is this poor little girl going through? Like, I mean, what are they? I mean, maybe his fault for marrying crazy, but I mean, what are you gonna do?
We'll never get to see what she was like before.
Yeah.
We're just dropped in the middle of it.
Yeah, so just
what
they're putting
happened
their
to
little
her?
girl through all this. It's heartbreaking.
I mean, it's
I was watching this because I was like, dude, he's got little kids now, and that makes it more intense, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, at every step of the way, she's kind of witnessing all this stuff too. Like, it's like really
the first murder, right there in front of her grandmother.
And then the thing in the school with the teacher in the school.
Yep.
Every single one of those kids is going to therapy. Like, what? They're all screwed up for life.
And like the way, there's no cell phones. So the kid actually had to run out of school and find the two guys in the street to be like, hey, there's some bad stuff. Just be like security or whatever, it took him a minute.
Yeah.
That was scary too.
Yeah. I really think this movie, I think ultimately is about the failures of the parents, on their child. And I think it's the end makes it more obvious that it's generational, but the first two people that die are the mother's parents. She murders both of her parents. First, her mom, who's obviously an alcoholic. Like you see her
drinking,
refilling her drink multiple times.
Yeah, thought that.
and then the dad, I think, is an alcoholic too.
He just kind of, I mean,
is along for the ride.
Yeah. You don't get as much with those characters, but the little that you do give you enough that like they're, they weren't the greatest. Maybe there's a reason that this lady is seeking therapy, extreme therapy for her issues, and it's just getting passed down.
Think about that.
I honestly, I never connected that part either until I watched it this time. I was like, oh, this is her parents that she's murdering first. That really like ties in with the whole theme of the movie.
I just sort of thought it was like the psychotherapy theme of the 70s, where like psychiatrists are like kind of the voodoo boogeyman, right? And you go to those people and they mess you up, right?
Well, yeah, that was there was a lot of that stuff happening in the 70s. All these pseudoscience therapists, they thought they write these crazy books and they just make up their own religions or whatever. And
cults,
cults. Yeah, essentially cults. It's not that much different than what Manson was doing, just brainwashing people. People that obviously have issues and are susceptible to it. So I think I've talked to you guys about this before, but Cronenberg wrote this movie because his ex-wife did this to him. She ran off to California. He's a Canadian, so she ran off to California with their daughter to some wacky some wacky, self-help guru cult.
Kellogg's Farm. Weird.
Yeah. So I think essentially he flew there, went and got his daughter and took her back. But
Crazy.
when you put it in that context, like this feels so much like so raw, much more raw, like so personal.
Yeah.
Cronenberg's a pretty like calculating, cold filmmaker for the most part. It's very, intellectual. This one definitely feels like it's a more emotional, I would say. Especially at the end when he literally strangles his wife to death.
Yeah.
There's
after
getting
she reveals the freaking weird sack thing that she's been using to give birth to these things.
Right. He's doing it for his kid, but he's working through something with that, And I think he's thinking a lot about just like, what is this bullshit doing to my kids? Like, what trauma have I inflicted with them? What are they going to carry with them?
Yeah, it's like
this?
My ex-wife is literally a monster, and look at what she's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe taken to a little extremes, but I mean.
Yeah, that's part of making a movie. You're extrapolating and creating entertainment out of it, but. I think it's great.
Man, I was glad to hear you say that the first half was sort of, I don't know, you said it took a while, Chris, because I kind of felt like that the same way. It was hard for me to get into, and I fell asleep the first time I watched this in the middle of the movie, and I fell asleep again this time in the middle of the movie. I think I've just been super tired, but it just takes a while, and it's very dialogue heavy for the first half, I would say. And it's not that I don't think it's good. I think that I just, maybe I'm not as a mature a film watcher or something, because I'm just like, something needs to jump out at me. But then it does. And man, it was really wild. It goes a little hard on the one character who has the daddy issues. Like, he kind of gets on my nerves a little, and they focus on him quite a bit. And he goes hard on his daddy problems. And I'm just like, bro, like,
will you be my daddy?
Did they get the balls off too? Because
do you want me to bleed? You like just rips his shirt up. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I was wondering about that guy, because I mean, he's got all the little like things all over him, and I mean, they do make the point that the ex-wife is special or whatever.
That he.
But I thought that they were kind of alluding to, like, he could almost kind of do the same. I mean, maybe because he wasn't a woman, he was a guy. He couldn't manifest the gremlin children.
Right.
But it kind of did make it seem like he was, also that, but it never went anywhere.
Yeah, his issues or whatever are manifesting as like sores on his body or something, but it's not getting to the point where the extreme that
it's not rage, I guess.
She's
so they're not
creating it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to go out and murder. But I mean, if he's well, I don't know what daddy issues would what kind of monster that would create and manifest. He'd have, I don't know, tiny little crying things all over the place or something. Not as interesting of a movie, I guess, but
wouldn't make a great sequel. There's just a bunch of like little faces all over his body crying.
But I did wonder about that guy.
I think the focus on the kids was super scary to me, because, and it always is, because having like a kid adversary looking thing, and then the child victim on top of that, you're just like pulled in a lot of different emotional directions. It's a freaky watch, man. Definitely, the first time I watched it, I just I didn't feel really connected to the movie, but this time I was like, damn, this is wild. Like when she has the baby and chews open the placenta and starts
licking it. Yeah.
I was like, wow, they're coming with it now. He's finally coming with it.
Yeah, it goes. Yeah, that last 20 minutes goes hard.
Right.
I like the doctor character too. He's like calm in a lot of circumstances. Yeah, because like when he's trying to sneak into the little den and get the child right, and they're like hissing at him and stuff. He's totally cool. He's just in there, right? He's gonna make it happen. But I guess it just got out of control for him. Is that the thing? Like her.
Well,
So
yeah, he told the guy like you got to go in there and like smooth things over with her, keep her calm.
Yeah. I'm talking about like in general though, like his whole psychological treatment ended up producing these little children or something, right? And he didn't see that as weird initially. Like I didn't really get if he like regretted what he had done.
Yeah, like,
sort of.
Yeah, what was his MO with all this? What was his end game? What was he trying to like? Did he just all of a sudden, oh shit, like what, like I'm way in over my head, like
yeah.
my experiments. I need to hide these things.
It seems like he's like fully like on board, like trying to trying to work with her until he realizes everyone like they're actually like breaking out and murdering people, and then he's like, okay, maybe I should do something about this.
Yeah, he definitely does seem like things have gone too far at the end. He's willing to help him get his daughter out of there because he's not completely insane, but it's still pretty insane.
Right. Yeah, it is kind of interesting because you could see it going the whole opposite way, where he's just becomes the mad scientist, like who's working like fighting against the father. Like the fact that he helps her in the end, or him in the end, is an interesting choice. But
I'm kind of blown away that was like Cronenberg's real life experience there, like that.
Yeah.
And I thought the end of the movie was super strong when he's driving away with his kid. I was like, that's solid, right? It was kind of an abrupt ending, but it was purposeful and like, I don't know. It was just a very nice like end. But now that you tell me that was like his real shit, I'm like, wow. Man.
Yeah, it looks like a mic drop to me. Like this is not my favorite Cronenberg, but it's like probably in my top 3 or 4 for sure.
It's definitely more intelligent seeming. Like he sets it up really well, and then he really drops the bomb on you.
Yeah. It does take a while, but it pays off. I feel like it sets everything up really well. I think my only like my probably main gripe of it is the main actor is just he's not bad at all. I wouldn't say he's doing a subpar job, but he is a little just like bland.
Yeah.
He's a little vanilla.
Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on with him. He looked like he had super red eyes in a couple of scenes. I was like, man, I wonder if he's sick or having allergies or something. I mean, he looks rough.
It's cold in Canada.
Yeah. I was like, man, this guy doesn't look well.
Well, he's going through a lot. I know. Honestly, like I kept watching the movie and like he should be like way more manic at this point. Like his daughter keeps going missing, and like he's like
that doctor at the end. I would have whooped his ass. I wouldn't even talk to him first. I would have just
right, exactly. Yeah, like I feel like if you could do it over, maybe like he gets a little more wild, throughout the movie, like a little more intense.
That would be good.
He's just he maintains his cool a little too well with all of the crazy shit happening.
I think intensity was a good word. He never brings his intensity over like a 5 or a 6, where he definitely could have upped it a bit, especially at the end.
Yeah,
everybody kind of did that though. Like even the guy whose wife was in there who confronts him and grabs him by the lapel, and he just kind of like, oh, sorry, maybe that's.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Canadian thing. They're just too
I was
nice.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say about the wife too, like not like she's bad, but like she is about by the end, she is insane looking. Like she completely pulls off like crazy batshit insane
Right.
look. Like she like the look she has on her face, like whenever he's trying to convince her to, you know, the fake get back together thing to keep her calm, like she's crazy looking. And
Oh yeah, I think as soon as he walks in there, like, oh, this is not gonna work. She's out of her damn mind.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, every time you see her, she's just like in this like trance, like Shakespearean, like it's the state. Like,
Yeah, it's like I don't know if they just pulled off good casting or she's that great of an actress or whatever,
yeah.
But she pulls off crazy ex-wife really really well, I thought.
I thought when he was trying to reason with her at the end, right? I was like, oh, he'll chill her out for a little bit. He'll do the I love you, I love you. I just really hadn't remembered that part from the last time I watched it. And man, I was like, well, this is going downhill real fast. Like he's getting nowhere. And then he's like, totally.
Well, check this out.
Yeah. She reads it all over his face. And he's just like, oh shit. And she's like, I disgust you, don't I? And oh man, it all goes south.
Yeah. So good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I love all the weird. So that's when you get the Cronenbergian makeup effects too. Like,
right.
Apparently, it was all like condoms, like glued to her body.
I was trying to eat, and I was like, it was getting to me.
Yeah,
Mark
good
of a
stuff.
horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
How many times have you seen this, Josh?
Probably like 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
And you're not a horror guy particularly. It probably isn't horror, is it?
I would call this horror.
Yeah, it's horror. I think so.
Yeah, I mean it's
psychological horror.
It's psychological horror. I definitely lean more towards psychological thrillers and stuff than like slashers. But yeah, you've got little like deformed dwarf children murdering people. I'd call it a horror movie.
Yeah.
So you're not a horror guy though, but like
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I like a lot of horror. Like I'm an omnivore. I like all types of movies. I would consider myself a horror fan. It's just not my primary,
go-to. Yeah.
My go-to. Like there's so many people like Randy is like primarily just horror is my thing. That's what I like. Yeah. And that's not my like first go-to. Like started probably right after I met Randy, I got more and more into horror and started to like deep dive into it and saw all these movies, and that led me to Cronenberg, watching all the John Carpenter stuff and all the other culty horror like weird stuff that's out there. I feel like I've seen a good bit of it now. Like I have a good understanding of that whole world now, but I go through phases. I can't just watch it all the time. But
and you want to watch trash horror. Like Cronenberg is high quality horror, I would say. Like classic, some of the best. So,
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
I was just noticing that. I was kind of like, you described yourself in the past as not a horror guy, and you like this movie a lot. I just thought it was interesting, but it's it's in your lane. I think. I don't think it's any surprise really.
Oh yeah. I mean, we jumped into Cronenberg like 3 or 4 years ago, and I immediately kind of clicked.
Way back.
Yeah. I think the very early days of the podcast when it was on Randy's channel, I was like, I want to get into Cronenberg. So I like watched Videodrome for the first time and we talked about it. And,
The Fly.
We did The Fly and
did we do another one? There was another one we did back then.
We've done, what was it? Scanners. We talked about Scanners before.
Existence.
Yeah. Existence is cool.
Yeah, we did that at one point.
Yeah, so we've gone through a few. He's not Randy's guy, so I try not to bring it out too often. But
I remember seeing The Fly when I was a kid. I had like a Fangoria magazine of The Fly, and it was just mind blowing.
Yeah.
But I never saw Scanners. I never saw The Brood, like his earlier stuff. And I was thinking about that when I was watching this. I was like, man, if my parents saw this in the 70s when it came out, they probably would have been like, holy shit, that was crazy. Like,
yes, similar thing crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Like what did people watching this in the late 70s or early 80s really think about this ending? Like not a lot, I imagine, was going this hard. I mean, there are horror movies and stuff, but
I remember when Last Action Hero came out, there was like this big controversy because at least maybe my 8-year-old brain or whatever remembers this way, but there was controversy because the little kid like shoots somebody in the end. It was in the papers and stuff like, oh, this movie's, got a child engaging in violence. It was like a deal. And so I'm like, man, this movie is wild. Like every little assailant is a child looking thing. Like, and then there's a scene where the little girl's just screaming and they're like trying to break into the bathroom, all like, bloody arms and stuff. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like my parents would have flipped out seeing that.
Yeah. I think this was before enough. Probably the was it like the 80s when which president's wife was the one doing all the Reagan's wife?
Reagan's wife.
It was Reagan's wife. Yeah, Nancy Reagan.
And then Tipper got the stickers on everything,
like the parental advisory era and all that stuff. So I mean, it was like pre that. So I think like a smaller indie could get away with. I mean, Last Action Heroes, big time, big budget action, but still, I think like at the right time to be in that panic era, whatever you want to call it. That this was before it. Like nobody was giving a shit, I don't think, about Cronenberg in the late 70s and even into the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he really like this was a pretty small movie too. It probably was not that well seen until later. Like I don't think he really emerged like for everyone to see until The Dead Zone and The Fly.
The Fly, yeah.
The Fly is the one that everyone recognizes.
Yeah.
That's probably the first one. I mean, Videodrome I think was getting there. Like that was distributed by Universal. I think it got like a real theatrical run and stuff, but that I think that one kind of bombed too. Like kind of came and went at the time. But I mean, yeah, the late 70s was when everything really started to get crazy. That's when you get Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacres, mid 70s, and
that's true.
That's when the 70s. Yeah, if you look at 70s, the 70s era, that's when the leash is off. Yeah, everything really starts to go crazy. And it's it's a time where like things were very bleak. It was mostly unhappy endings. Like this is the age of Watergate and paranoia, and everyone is sort of like just. No one's trusting each other. No one's trusting the government. Everything's bad, feeling bad. And then
interest rates are out of control. Yeah.
Well, wait a second. And then,
then you get Videodrome.
Yeah. Well, and you go into the 80s and they try and, and we've got crazy horror movies, but the whole tone of the 80s is, they try and turn it back so much. That was one of Reagan's big things that you mentioned, trying to be more family oriented and all that stuff, I don't know. Interesting time in history. Yeah.
I got noise in the back.
Oh, you're good. This is just the dumb film nerdy stuff that I think about though. Like when you start connecting dots on movies and like giving context for them and stuff.
Oh, I love it, man. It's cool.
Okay, Chris, give us your pick for next week.
Yep. it's a long one, but I think it's enough up everybody's alley to be cool with. But Last Samurai, this was what, early 2000s, probably like 2001, 2002. Those shit, maybe even late
2003.
90s.
Yeah.
2003, okay.
Yeah. I saw this
Yeah.
in the theater. I definitely did.
Yeah, I think I saw this in the theater back in the day and haven't seen
Wow.
it since. I mean, I've watched a lot of Japanese stuff now and getting into Kurosawa and everything other than Kurosawa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I definitely, I've come to enjoy the Japanese culture and film and everything a lot over the last few years. So yeah, I mean, I'm not the biggest Tom Cruise fan, but I don't care
I
that
think
much.
this movie gets some heat though because it's sort of like
A little bit of
American Japanese.
white
Yeah.
savory. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
It's
mean, yeah, he's not going to do anything, or he's the bad guy.
The white savior is the Last Samurai is a white guy. What? That's offensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, I still think it's was and I think still is a pretty well received movie for the most part. So
Yeah.
I figured I should knock it off the, the Japanese,
Yeah.
list.
No, that's a good pick. I've seen that a few times and I like it quite a bit. But it's been a while. It's been quite a while. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's got a 4K. I think.
Oh, does it?
I think
Okay.
so. Because I don't have Paramount. Because I think it was only on Paramount. I was thinking about maybe just grabbing a 4K.
I remember it being a very good looking movie too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I'll if I find it on sale or something, I'll send y'all a link.
Cool. Sounds good.
Although if you have a
might
Blu-ray,
just
you probably
pick
won't worth upgrading, Josh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got a Blu-ray of it. I gotta go check upstairs, but I think I've got
I
one.
may go see Julie and see if she's got one or something.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
not a bad idea.
Maybe you can find a VHS copy. This might be right after VHS
like,
ended.
she's got a DVD for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure. For sure. So anything else you guys watched this week? No?
I go first. I know Clay's got a couple things he could talk about it, so I'll get mine out of the way. I finally finished Andor. I ended up really liking it. Like, I think the
Dang.
second half of the second season really picks up. Like I kind of jumped on board at the end of the first season, and then starting the second season is like, we're back into boring shit. There's a freaking wedding that takes a whole episode, and like I'm like, okay, do I really want to continue watching this? But I gave it like four episodes. I was like, okay, it starts to pick back up, and I get back in. And the second half of the second season is solid. I think you start getting into like actual like rebel missions and stuff like that. Like
That's
the
what I'm
planet,
talking about.
the planet they set up as the rebel base. I mean, and a bunch of other stuff kind of starts to happen. The pieces are a little more obvious, I think, later on in the show. Like in the beginning, it was just kind of like, what is everybody doing? But the pieces all kind of start to come together. And I mean, obviously, they're building the Death Star. So yeah, I think it gets pretty solid at the end of the second season.
It's got a damn 8.5 on IMDb. I mean, it can't be a bad show.
Yeah, like I think it's very well written. It's very well shot. It looks great. It looks cool. It is a little boring and slow for my taste. I think it's really
Dramatic.
really for like hardcore Star Wars. I mean, maybe I'm not as a hardcore Star Wars fan as I thought I was, or I mean,
We all have kids
But-
and shit now. There's no time.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, if you started it, I would say stick with it. And then I watched Rogue One 2 afterwards, and I was never really that big on Rogue One, even though everybody was back in the day when it came out. And it's, I Actually, I think I prefer Andor to it now. Like,
Okay.
there's some like Disney silliness and stuff like that. Like, I do like the robot sidekick, K2 whatever.
Yeah, I liked him
But
too.
it's got some corny just Disney ness to it. But I prefer the more serious Andor. But I definitely appreciated Rogue One way more than I did before.
Yeah.
That's
I
solid.
feel
It
like
definitely,
Disney's trying real hard.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's tough. Like, you can't make something silly and ridiculous and, have adults like it. But I mean, you want all the kids to like it. So, like, I think they put themselves in a box where they're trying too hard. Not even just with Star Wars, but with, Marvel and everything else. Like, they're trying to please everybody at the same time. And it's like impossible.
Yeah, you
like,
can't really do it.
I got a buddy at work that started watching Andor 2, and he's like, "Oh, I freaking hate it. It sucks. It's terrible." Like, he's not finished watching it, and I get that because I that thought crossed my mind a few times. But I mean, I'd say it's worth sticking with. If you're even halfway interested into it, like, it's worth sticking with. And
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it.
I'm gonna give it a shot too, man. I really want to talk about it. So I can tell you do too.
yeah, let's say the first let's just say the first halves of both seasons are slow. They start off slow.
Okay.
But they all both get better as it goes along.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get back to it. I remember watching Rogue One and like liking it the first time too, and then rewatching it and being like, oh, 3/4 of this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
and then the last bit is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I said the thing that I think Andor does do is, sets everything up properly. Because my gripes with Rogue One were always like, I know what they're doing, of course, but I mean, these are all new characters and new people. It's like I don't really care about any of these people. Like, I mean, a few of them are pretty cool, and some of them are all right, but I mean, you don't get hardly any backstory and no, real reason to care about most of them.
Right, and you kind of assume like all these people are gonna die, right?
Yeah.
Like, should I get attached to them? Not,
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. So yeah, that was always my gripe with it. It was always okay, but it's better now.
Right. Okay.
It's not some 5-star masterpiece or the greatest Star Wars thing ever, but
8.5 is pretty strong, man.
That's solid.
Good deal.
Yep.
Clay,
That was Game of Thrones.
what else? What did you watch?
I watched a few things. I watched Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel on Netflix.
If you can suffer through that, you can suffer through Andor.
Scraping the
pretty
bottom
okay.
of the barrel, man.
Yeah, dude. He struggles with the dialogue. The dialogue is just terrible, and he says some really dumb shit. But it's interesting. I want to support the guy.
He's like a big D&D head, isn't he? I feel like he made that one
probably.
for like D&D or something.
I could see that.
Yeah, I've always been a fan of the Riddick series. Yeah. It definitely gets goofy and dumb, but
yeah,
I watched that again last week too.
Did you?
I watched Chronicles of Riddick. I was like,
okay.
I remember really digging the movie, and this time I was kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, I bought the 4K, like the Arrow 4K that they put out a while back, and I kind of had the feeling I would think the same, so I don't think I ever
watched it.
I like Pitch Black a lot. I've seen that one a bunch of times.
Yeah, Pitch
cool.
Black's good.
I feel like that was like a pretty hard R too, and wasn't Chronicles of Riddick like PG-13 or something? Yeah, I feel like it kind of pulled back on it.
Yeah, it's got a director's cut, I think. I think I saw the director's cut like back in the day on a DVD or something, and the Arrow 4K I think has the director's cut, which I think you get a little blood and a little bit extra, but yeah, it's still kind of silly and Pitch Black is still the the darker, more serious movie.
And then when they did a third one, right? Just called Riddick.
Riddick, yeah.
And I remember watching that and being kind of disappointed because it just felt like they were remaking Pitch Black, but not as good.
Yeah.
Because I can't even remember all the lore and stuff now,
Yeah.
but Chronicles of Riddick sets up this whole weird world where they're like
Right.
talking to corpses and weird shit, and then
Yeah.
it feels like they don't really like carry that story on. And the next one, they're just like, oh, there's trapped on another planet, and there's some aliens trying to eat them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't remember hating but yeah, it was definitely very meh.
yeah, like I've seen this movie already.
Yeah.
It was good first time.
I
Nice.
saw 28 Years Later twice this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It grew on you?
First time. Do what?
It grew on you?
Well, the first time I saw it, I really was
There's
pissed when I left.
There's a penis joke in there.
Yeah. No, hey, I got you. And man, the second time it grew on me. So I think you have to sort of just absolve yourself of the last two movies and go into it and be like, this is going to be a whole new
its own thing.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it kind of let it be that way, and it goes pretty well. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I hope you guys see it so we can talk about it some more.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll see it in the theater, but I guess when it hit, like Thursday, Friday, like it was getting like pretty good buzz, and I was seeing some good reviews. But over the last couple of days, like I've seen some like, this is the worst shit ever. Like this is the worst movie I've ever seen. Kind of reviews.
I don't know about that.
So
but I can see how people are upset because I was sure upset. I was like, this is not the franchise. It's not the same thing.
I think I think some things have gotten spoiled for me. So I don't know if there's one big like thing that people are upset about. I know there's one thing people are upset about, but there's I think a thing that happens that people are kind of like torn on from what it sounds like. I don't know how accurate that is, but I'm
sure we'll talk about it, and I don't want to dig into it too hard.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go see it. Maybe next week. I've got a little time off next week, so
it's a good movie. I would say. Like I was pissed at first and really went hard on it, and I'm like, no, it's a good movie. I mean, it is a great first half or first third or whatever, and then he does whatever he wants to do, and Garland's creative. I mean, they're trying to bring something unique to the table, so I mean, if you just sort of kind of like let it go, the way it's going to go, I think you'll have a good time with it.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of expected for like maybe a few curveballs thrown at me, and I don't have the highest expectations, so I think I'm prepared to. Like
it just seemed like the first movie in particular, like we just reviewed 28 Days Later, right? And it was super desperate at times. Like the lady in it, I can't remember her name. This main character lady, she would kill you if you got blood splashed in your eyes. It was like just high risk zombie stuff, and that's what I liked about it so much. Is like in a minute somebody can turn into a zombie and flip out on you.
They transform really quick too.
So yeah, it was super desperate seeming, and this has that same feel, but I just felt like the first one was like distinctly different to that regard. So you'll see when you see it.
Yeah.
The intensity was different, I guess, but the first one was a great movie, man. I mean, we reviewed it. I think every one of us kind of dug it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I think I'm the lowest of the three of us on it, but I like it.
Are you going to see this in the movie theater?
I'm going to try to. Yeah, I want to. Yeah, speaking completely from ignorance, but like when I see a Danny Boyle movie, I kind of like check my idea, like whatever my expectations are at the door, because he's always like, he's such an experimental filmmaker. Like he's always just,
I wish he'd
doing weird stuff.
While I was walking in the door, I wish it had been in my ear. Like, you know what? You just need to don't have any expectations. Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, I just feel like they are not going to just make a traditional sequel to something. It's going to be they're doing their own experiment. They're doing their own thing. On mushrooms or something. They just don't. We're
Yeah.
going this way. No, we're not going.
Well, I heard Garland talking about it too. It was like they had talked about doing a sequel for a really long time, but they didn't have the rights to it. So the studio was like never. They were like, yeah, the studio was never going to let us do what we wanted to do, and then they never did anything with it. So the rights reverted back to them. They're like, oh, well, now we can do whatever we want, you know. And if the studio doesn't like it, we'll just go find someone else that'll give us money for it. So,
some way to do it.
yep.
Yeah.
It's their baby. They can do whatever the hell they want with it. So, and apparently there's another one coming out. Is it this year or next year?
Yeah.
It's like it's like done. They've already finished it. So, I supposedly I think Cillian Murphy is in that one. So
I saw they're gonna, at least reveal, what happens to him if he is even still around anymore.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's, I don't know.
Yeah, can't really talk about it anything else because I don't know, and I don't want Clay to say anything anyway. So I've steered clear of everything, so I haven't gotten it spoiled for me yet.
Yeah, it's like I'm just, scrolling through Instagram and seeing like people's reactions and dick jokes and
Oh yeah, I've definitely heard about
stuff.
the dicks.
Giant
Yeah.
wang. Well, I did watch one of Randy's recommendations, which was Havoc. I think he mentioned that a few times.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, so bad, man. I don't know how so many A-list actors got in that movie. But to redeem him, I watched The Town just yesterday, and it was awesome. Like
that sounds awesome.
He had a great run of like bank heist kind of movies. And he mentioned The Town when we did his last movie. I can't remember what it was. It was a heist movie.
I think we did Manhunter or something. We were talking about. Oh, was it when we were talking about Killing Zoe?
So.
Yeah, probably so.
I think so. And so, dude, I like The Town a lot. It was awesome. Big shootout scenes, and
I'm pretty surprised you've never seen that. That was a pretty big one when it came out. But I
saw that in the theater.
Yeah, I think I did too.
And I did some research to see if it was true that the town was, plagued by bank robbers, and it's not. So.
Oh no.
Chesterfield, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a conceit for the movie, but right. But it's great stuff. Yeah, Affleck is a pretty good director too. I think like he really brings it out, and
that's what he's doing.
And that was one of the first times I remember like knowing who Jeremy Renner was, and he was actually like he's pretty despicable in that movie from what I remember. It's been a while.
Dangerous. Yeah.
I really
they
like.
go hard on the Boston, like Ben Affleck's a really smart guy. Like it's just
Well, he's a Boston guy, so it was kind of a love letter to his town in a way. I think.
Yeah, I watched Good Will Hunting not too long ago, a couple weeks ago.
Great.
For the first time in a little while, and solid movie.
I almost got tossed out of an Uber because I asked the Uber driver if he had seen Good Will Hunting when I was in Boston. He got mad.
What?
Yeah. They go pretty hard up there, man. They don't.
Do you like apples?
I was just joking around with the guy, but he didn't think it was funny.
Damn.
He just goes. I was like, dude,
it's not that ridiculous of a thing.
He was just screwing around. I think he was trying to be funny in like a Boston way, which is like
probably.
super over the top and
maybe
right, really grouchy about it. That's their sense of humor, just be really grouchy.
He's like somebody he was just giving a ride to, asking the same question.
Like 5 minutes ago.
You just got asked that.
It'd be like every night for the next 20 years of your life.
Do you know who Whitey Bulger is? Like you just get asked the same shit over and over again.
That does sound pretty miserable.
Yeah, probably. Is it all that people know about Boston?
Yeah, it's like every asshole he picks up from the airport is going to have the same 5 questions.
It was a good movie, though.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's a solid one. It's been a while. I need to rewatch that one too.
Yeah, been a long time for me.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when we were talking about killing Zoe and brought up the town. Like, I need to watch that again.
Yeah, solid. Only other thing I watched this week was Exotica, which I decided to pull the plug on because I just knew you guys would strongly dislike it. It just wasn't what I thought it was.
It's a very. I watched like 45 minutes of it, and Elias Koteas, I remember having a lot of like monologues and stuff that was sort of like about acting or something. If I remember, I can't remember what like, but it was very like all I could think of was like a thespians kind of movie.
Yeah, it's very theatrical. I don't know. So it's been described to me as sort of like a Lynchian sort of mystery, which it has the tone of a Lynch movie. It's very hypnotic feeling. And so I was really into it for a long time. And then it kind of just, I got a little impatient with it at a certain point. And I was like trying to stick with it and be like, maybe this is all going to pay off. And it kind of does, but not in like the sort of like fun genre way that the group would enjoy. It's like, like all of you sort of, it doesn't tell you who any of these characters are. It kind of just drops you in this world, these weird guys in this strip club and stuff. And it all turns out to be like sort of about transactional relationships and stuff. But you find out, slowly reveal who these characters are, and like, it's not like Magnolia, but it's like these characters that have nothing to do with each other that end up connecting in like peripheral ways, and they all like, there's this one event in this guy's past that actually connects them together that they don't know about, and it actually is pretty satisfying, and I think there is some really smart writing in it, but it really like tests your patience at a certain point. But there is like a real like weird, dreamy, tonal, like mysterious vibe to it. It's just like, I don't know what's happening, but it's not good. Like there's something weird going on here, so I kind of liked it, but yeah, I don't think you guys would have vibed with it.
Thanks for sparing us with the audible there.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't just like pull like obscure titles out like that. I need to be a little more, especially after Demon Lover was kind of like a half, like I was sort of in and out on that one too. So
I think I like that most of all of us, actually.
I think you enjoyed it a little more than even I did, but I didn't. Yeah, after that one, I was like, I can't bring another like. I can't do this again. Yeah, it was sort of in a similar vein. I was like, this one's gonna be better, right?
I think the title throws you on that movie, because I got it and I was like, yeah, Exotica, I'm gonna watch something.
And it's all like in a strip club, but it's like but there's really very little. There's a little bit of nudity, but there's not like. It's not really very much of an explicit movie in that way.
Showgirls? Should we just watch Showgirls?
We should. We should definitely just watch Showgirls. There's a lot more.
Dude, it's been a long time since I've seen that mess.
I just got it in the mail today, finally.
Did you? Okay. Really? All right.
I got my long leg steelbook in the mail.
Oh, nice. I thought about getting that because it's actually pretty damn good looking.
It's got a nice plastic slip on it. It's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I might pick that up because it was a pretty good steal. Like I got the Sinners steel book on pre-order. Have you seen that?
I missed that one.
It's pretty good. I was actually gonna send you guys a link like yesterday, I think.
Oh, was there a new one? Because the first one,
but it's been coming in and out of stock.
Okay.
I saw it come in stock. I was like, I don't know if these guys are into it, but I'll just send y'all a link anyway. But like 30 seconds later, it was sold out. Like,
yeah.
I don't need it that bad, It's all right. I wanted the steel, but every time I checked it, it was.
That one's it's a good steel book. If I see a link that lasts more than 5 seconds, I'll forward it to y'all.
Yeah, I think I've got the just the regular 4K on pre-order. It's out in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. Drag
pretty
Me to
soon.
Hell ended up selling out on Steelbook. That pissed me off
Hmm.
because I mentioned it to you guys, and I was like, "Oh, 32 is a little high," and then it went to 29, sold out, and I was like,
Dang.
I should have bought it, but I was like, surely this thing isn't going to sell out.
That's
It's gone. Yeah,
There's a
hasn't
Prince
been
of Darkness.
released yet.
There's a Prince of Darkness Steelbook about to come out that looks pretty
Oh,
sweet. I don't need to be double buying anything. But
no, yeah,
That's
same.
long legs
It's
for me too.
it's a pretty good looking Steelbook.
Is the long legs one still available?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that one was too hard to find.
Yeah,
I
it's
never
not-
bought it the first time, so
Okay.
I might get
Yeah,
that
it's still
one.
there on Amazon. $30.
Cool. I'll look at that in a minute.
Cool.
Well, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Doing The Last Samurai next week.